Yo, it feels like it hasn't been forever since the last episode when it's only been like 3 or 4 weeks. I know that's like nearly a month or a month. Well, but yeah, I remember when my first episode, I did episode 7 on the 1st of January, so it's been exactly 1 month. And wow, what a month January was. Okay, we gotta talk all about January, just that month, but bro, January was action packed. So much stuff happened. The tsunamis, Australian Open, tennis. So much happened. The tsunami. We're gonna get straight into it all. But yeah. We had a month off. You know, we were getting the studio ready. It's nearly done. Like I got a whole big desk. We're getting cameras in. There'll be a webcam soon. Like you'll be able to see us. It's turning very professional. I'm happy where it's come. But yeah, we just had a little New Year break holiday, and like continued working on the studio. You could call it. But no, Happy New Year by the way. I know I said that episode 7, but a month into 2022 and COVID's still bloody going on. It's getting worse here in Australia. We're one of the worst countries in the world now. We're called a national hotspot for it. But no, Happy New Year from myself and All Things podcast. We hope that this year, there's 11 months ago, we hope it gets 10 million times better. And, last couple of years, we hope the rest of 2022 is better than January and better than 2020 and 2021. I don't think it will. It's getting worse. Like, I just started online school yesterday. It's actually my lunch break. I'm recording this. And yeah, online school now because of COVID. Yeah. But yeah, we hope it gets better. Um, but here in Australia, or the east coast of Australia, New Zealand, Tonga, and surrounding islands, had an underwater volcano erupt off Tonga. I'm sure everyone's heard of it by now. But yeah, it caused a tsunami, and it actually reached Queensland, Australia. So it hasn't been the best start for 2022. However, Australia, we won the Ashes Test series against England, which is a positive. The new episodes every Wednesday for the Book of Boba Fett have been great too. So not all bad. Australian Open was epic. So yeah, you just got to look at the positives. But yeah, with the tsunami, it was a massive volcanic eruption happened in Tonga, underwater that triggered a tsunami triggered tsunami waves around the Pacific, caused significant damage to island nation's capital, and smothered in dust. But the full extent was not apparent with communication still cut off. Um, well, it happened a few weeks ago, but communications were cut off for a while. It wasn't great. The eruption was so powerful it was recorded around the wave, triggering a tsunami that flooded Pacific coastlines from Japan to the United States. It happened all around the world. It was obviously it was the worst in Tonga where it happened. It made the United States wasn't bad. They just a bit of marine there, but it even made the coast of Queensland and New South Wales in Australia here. Um, but yeah, it wasn't good. And New Zealand Prime Minister said said adding 3 had been no reports or injury or death, but a full assessment was not yet possible with communication lines down. So there were deaths. I don't really want to get into it all because, it started 2022 was not great. It started off with a bloody tsunami. And I went to the beach when the beach reopened because the beach is closed here in Queensland, down like at the Gold Coast and stuff when the tsunami first happened. And I went back right when they opened up, and you could still feel how tough the waves were. And like the marine or there was damaged. So yeah, but um, like it's the best time right now in Australia to go to the beach. It's summer, and Australia, east coast of Australia, all around Australia, the coast of Australia, Gold Coast, like the Gold Coast best beaches. But like Australia, we're known for our beaches, and they've been all shut. It was a shame because I like missed out on the beach like 3 times, so we went back when it opened, but the waves were so rough. Um, but hopefully not too much land and marine has been destroyed and stops to be destroyed because a lot of marine actually did, and it has stopped, like settled down now, but a lot was destroyed. And we were sending our prayers to everyone in Tonga that were and surrounding islands that were affected. Everyone, New Zealand, people in Australia. Well, it was mainly marine, but Tonga and all those surrounding islands. But yeah, we hopefully it's getting better. Everyone is still rebuilding from it, but yeah, it wasn't great. And well, now to some positive news for us Aussies. Not so positive for England, but this Ashes series was a wild ride from the very first ball of the series when Mitchell Stark clean bowled Roy Burns at the Gabba in Brisbane. You knew these tests were going to produce all sorts of drama and gripping storylines. For England, this truly was the tour from hell. For Australia, we were almost perfect. We were perfect, except for the one draw because it got rained out or something. But we were almost perfect. We were clinical, cunning, and ruthless in every sense of the word with bat and ball. No doubt there'll be plenty of discussion in coming weeks about Justin Langer's position as head coach. But yeah, it's hard to argue against the recent success of a T20 World Cup win and Ashes glory, but that is a matter for Cricket Australia to decide. So yeah, but um, Langer's contract doesn't expire until after the tour of Pakistan in March this year, I believe. That's from memory. But yeah, the balance of power has shifted in the Ashes, not the balance between Australia and England, which has titled Australia's way, but always it always we did great, but it always like swings and varies, like it always changes, but the balance between bowlers and batsmen, yeah, it changes, it varies. Australia, we won this year. Next, whenever the next Ashes is, who will win that? Like, um, but no, Australia, we did good. And on the last day of the rubber, as on the first, Australia's Hydra-like Seam Act reduced England to. It reduced them to what? Like, it made them miserable, hopeless. And this time embracing, like, the amount of captains we went through. What's that? One got injured, one COVID. It all changed. Steve Smith, he became like. I like Steve Smith. He's a good person. He served his time after what happened with sandpaper. But yeah, Australia, we did great against England. It has been a while, but like I've got so many notes. Like I started planning for this episode right after episode 7. So I'm kind of jingle my words. But no, we did great. Everyone probably already knows about that now. I was meant to film this or record this episode a while ago, but everything got pushed. Got pushed back. School starting now. And then my studio's coming along and whatever. But how about we talk about the Book of Boba Fett, okay? The Book of Boba Fett, episode 5, which came out on last Wednesday, and wow, it was insane. And by the way, this part of the podcast contains spoilers, so you have been warned. Spoilers for the Book of Boba Fett, episode 5. So you have been warned. But a review of this week's episode, the Book of Boba Fett, the return of the Mandalorian. Yes, the Mandalorian is back. We didn't see Boba Fett at all in that episode. But yeah, the return of the Mandalorian coming up just as soon as I open that petting zoo. If you get it, you get it. But we have to start by acknowledging that calling this an episode of the Book of Boba Fett feels like a stretch. Yes, Fennec Shen pops up at the very end, but nearly all of its running time. This is basically the Mandalorian season 2.5. A chance to catch up with Mando, see how he's doing without his adorable pal Grogu, and just enjoy him in action. It's almost the it's almost like it's almost like the opposite, the flip side, the opposite of how so many of the Mandalorian season 2's episodes were devoted to seeding spin-offs like this series, with Mando seizing back control of his own mini franchise, you could call it, for a week. yeah, I hope we see him. We will see him. We'll see him in episode 6. You know, he's going to help the Book of Boba Fett. You know, we might go see Grogu in episode 6, and he'll be with Luke. So I hope we see Luke, Leia, and Han and Grogu all together. How sick would that be? And then like young Ben Solo, Ben Solo. That'd be sick, bro. Like baby Ben Solo, Grogu, Leia, Han all together. It would be hard, but you know, it comes out tomorrow. If depends what time you're watching it, but right now it's the 1st of February. It's Tuesday, so it comes out tomorrow, and I cannot wait. But yeah, it was great. And I can't wait. There is so much more to cover from the last Book of Boba Fett episode itself. Boba Fett, you know, who wasn't in it, but Mandalorian, he had the dark saber. He fought the other Mandalorian, and then I forget their names right now because I just finished school. I finished school. I'm going to finish the podcast episode. But Mandalorian fought the other Mandalorian, and he kept his dark saber because he won, but he got like kicked out of that tribe of Mandalorians, if that makes sense, because he admitted to removing his helmet. So yeah, but yeah. And we also saw Mandalorian. He got a new ship, which was crazy. He goes so fast. He got stopped by like the what's the names? You know, like the police people in space, Imperial fighters or whatever. But no, it was great, and I cannot wait for tomorrow's episode. When the whole season is done, I'm gonna dedicate a whole podcast episode to it because this is so good. I'll cover episode 1 to how many episodes are gonna be? 7? Not 7. 7 or 8? Yeah, up to 5. So I only got a few to go, which is sad. But I'll do a whole podcast episode just bloody talking about episode 1 to episode 7 or 8, whatever, how much there is, but the whole season 1. But now to the 2022 Australian Tennis Open. It was action-packed with Aussies winning, world number 1 being deported, and so much more. Rafael Nadal won his 21st Grand Slam and his first Aussie Open win since 2009. Ash Barty stays at world number 1 after her win against Collins from USA. Nick Kyrgios won his first Grand Slam in doubles with that other Australian. I cannot pronounce his name. It's spelled Kokkinaakis. I cannot remember it. I can't pronounce it, but that's it. But no, they played double spectacular. They did great. It was insane. They did great. And probably the biggest news from the Aussie Open 2022, the Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison says Novak Djokovic was deported because he tried to breach entry rules at the border, even though the mission minister did not dispute his tennis star's belief he had a valid medical exemption. But yeah, he came in and he got kicked out straight away. The Serbian tennis player boarded a flight from Melbourne to Dubai on a few Sundays ago, hours after the full federal court upheld the minister's decision to cancel Djokovic's visa. But overall, was a good Australian Open, and congrats to all the winners, runners-up, and all that played. Yeah, wow. My brain is about to go to sleep. I'm back at school. I have to wake up early now. I've been waking up pretty late and then going to bed late. And I want to bloody get this episode done and go to bed. So I'm going to leave it at that. I got so much more to talk about. But let's just leave it at that for episode 8. And so, yeah, I will talk to you in episode 9. If this is your first time listening, welcome. Give us a follow on whatever you're watching on. All our socials are linked down below. And hey, look at that. We made it. There's actually been stats that show most podcasts don't actually make it to episode 8 or past episode 7. And, well, I don't see us stopping anytime soon. So, yeah. Well, thanks for listening to today's episode. As I said, all our socials are linked in the description of this episode. And if you'd like to support us further, there are affiliate and donation links down there too. You can also subscribe to us. It's 99 cents a month. You get perks. It will be in the description. I am falling asleep right now. So, thanks to everyone for watching. And I'll see you for episode 9 soon.